Alright guys, now this question, it says horsepower and watts are units of measure of power. And they say that they are directly proportional. So if they're directly proportional, I'm going to call the horsepower P and the watts W. So we're saying that W is proportional to P, right? From C-sec days, that's proportional symbol, right?
Yes, sir.
So that is saying that since they're directly proportional, then W is equal to a constant times P. That's what we're saying. W is a constant times P, where W is watts and P is horsepower. So now notice they say that when the horsepower is 5, so that's when P is 5, W is 3730. In that case, we have 3730. That's equal to the constant times P. P is 5, so that's 5 times our constant K. In that case, we can divide both sides by 5 to find what is K. Divide both sides by 5 for me and tell me what we get. 3730 divided by 5. So K equal, what we get for K?
746.
746. All right, good. 746. Now notice that right here it says how much power in watts is equal to 2 horsepower. Horsepower we said is P. So when P is equal to 2, we need to find now what is W. Now remember, W we said is KP. But now we find K. K is 746. And P is what now? P is 2. So 746 times 2 is what?
1492.
1492. 1492, that's correct. And that is the power. Alright? Cool?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Alright, so of course, you know you'd shade that in. Remember how you'd shade it, not the fractions part. I want to show the numbers. You hear it, it's like you'd shade in 1, then you go down to 4, then 9, then 2. You'd have to shade it in. Right? So you can shade it in on the actual SAT paper. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Now this question here, it says the painting Starry Night by Vincent van Gogh is a rectangular shape with height. Let me just draw the rectangle. I like to see visually what's happening. It says the height is 29 and it says the width is 36.25. It says if a reproduction was made, so they're going to reproduce this painting, but the reproduced painting is going to be such that each dimension is 1/3 of the corresponding. So 1/3 of it. So 1/3 of the height somewhere down here. 1/3 of the width somewhere here. So this is the reproduced painting. Only take up this amount of space. It says, what is the height of the reproduced? Oh, that's easy. So the height of the reproduced painting, guys, they say it's 1/3, right? 1/3 of the original height. So 1/3 of 29, because 29 was the original height. 1/3 of 29 is 29 over 3. You put that in a calculator, you're going to get 9.67. Guaranteed. That's the height. So 29 over 3. Right? 9 point, that's what you get? Yeah. 9.67.
So how do you know that?
Oh, we know that? Oh, no, it was... Oh, I know it was 9.67.
Yeah.
29 over 3 is 9. The remainder is 2 over 3. And we know 2 over 3 is 0.67.
Oh.
Yeah, so 9 plus 2 over 3 is 9.67. Alright, so without... Yeah, don't stress yourself, man. Alright, just use a calculator. But, you know, the more we deal with fractions, the more it becomes part of our memory. So that's 9.67. Now, question 33. let's say on this diagram right here, it says on the diagram above, they tell us that on PS above, the entire length of this line is PS. They tell us PQ is equal to RS. What is the length of PS? Now, they tell us PQ is equal to RS, so that's important. This is PQ and this is RS. So they're telling us that x minus 1 is equal to 3x minus 7. If you solve that equation for x, we bring the numbers to one side, 7 minus 1. Bring the x to the next side, 3x minus x. 3x minus x is 2x. 7 minus 1 is 6. So then we divide both sides by 2. Notice that that gives us x equals 3, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, guys, when you get x equals 3, you don't finish. The question said that this side right here is x minus 1. 3 minus 1 is 2. And then this side right here is 2 as well. But then now this side is just what? The distance QR is what? Just x, right? And x was 3. So now we can tell him that PS is just 2 plus 3 plus 2. That is 4 plus 3, which is 7. So PS is 7 units. Alright?
So what's the U? Oh, no, man. No, man.
Yeah, you don't need to
No
shade in
units.
any units here. No units. Just write 7. Alright?
Yes, sir.
Alright. Now question 34, guys, it says in the xy plane, the point 25 lies on the graph of the function. If f of x is k minus x squared, where k is a constant, what is the value of k? Now, first thing is, guys, remember a point 25, they're telling you that the x value is 2, and they're telling you that the y value is y. Remember, f of x is y. F of x is y. In that case, they're telling you that 5 is k minus your x value 2 squared. So if we need to make k the subject, 2 squared is 4. So that's k minus 4 is 5. We bring the 4 over here. So bring the 4 over here, k would be 9. Because 9 minus 4 is 5. So that's k. Is that cool?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so that's that. SAT. This question here, it says a landscaper is designing a rectangular garden, and it says the length of the garden is to be 5 foot longer than the width. If the area will be 104 square feet, what will be the length in feet of the garden? Now, guys, all you can do is picture what they're saying. You draw your little garden, and they tell us that the rectangular garden is such that the length is going to be 5 times the width. So let's say this is the length here. Let's say the width is x. The length is 5 times longer, so the length is x plus 5. Agreed? 5 foot longer, you add 5 to whatever the width is, right? Agreed?
Yes, sir. Yes,
And then remember, guys, that area is equal to length times width. And they told us that the area is 104 square feet. So that means x plus 5 times x is 104. Wow! So if we expand, this is going to be x times x is x squared. 5 times x is 5x equal 104. So we're going to end up have a quadratic equation to solve. In this case, we have x squared minus plus 5x minus 104 equal to 0. All right, now, when you get to this stage, guys, remember the quadratic formula that we did last term? The coefficient of x squared is 1. The coefficient of x, the b, is 5. And your constant c is minus 104. In that case, you use the quadratic formula. Alright, and you'd say x is equal to minus b, which is negative 5, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. 2 times 1 is 2. So you put that into your calculator. I'm just going to bring up the calculator here. And you just do it one time. Guys, just do it one time. Negative 5 plus the square root of 5 squared minus 4 times 1 times negative 104 over 2. You put that in a calculator, you're going to get x equal 8. That's what you got to have, Andre?
Yes, sir. X equal 8.
X equal 8. Good. Guys, when you get x equal 8, you don't finish because remember what the question asks for. Please. The question asks for what will be the length. The width is 8. X is just the width. So the width is 8. So the length is 8 plus the 5. So in that case, you'd have to tell them the length
That's 13.
is 13. That's the length, 13. Alright, easy stuff. Alright. Now this question right here now, guys, it says point P. So this is a little bit of circle theory. So I know a lot of persons might not remember circle theory, but it's not a lot we have to remember in circle theory. Just a little bit. Aww. So this says a point P is the center of the circle. And it says, what is the value of x? So they give us this angle is 20, this angle is 20, and this angle is x. Now, guys, what we do know is that the angle at the center is twice the size of the angle at the circumference. So if this angle right here is x, if this angle here is x, what we're then saying is that the angle at the center is going to be a half of x. All right, what else can we do to find x? Ah, nice. Now, guys, I don't know if you noticed, this is a quadrilateral. This is a nice question. This is a nice one. Now, notice that this right here is 20. This right here is 20. This right here now is a half x. And if this piece is x, then this piece is what? 360 minus?
360 minus x.
Very good. 360 minus x. Now, guys, the pieces that are shaded in red, let me shade it in a different color. Let me shade it in light green here. This piece, this piece, this piece, and this piece. That's what? That's a four-sided figure, right?
Yes, sir.
And a four-sided figure becomes a what? A quadrilateral. And angles in a quadrilateral, the what? Sum to?
360.
360. So now we can say that our half x plus our 360 minus x plus our 20 plus our 20, we know that's going to be 360. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
All right, now if we realize this cancel, the 360s cancel on both sides, right? If we subtract 360 on both sides, those cancel, right?
Yes, sir.
And,
Yes, sir.
and a half x minus x, that's negative a half x. And then 20 plus 20, that's 40. That equals 0. Now, you can multiply through well, let's not multiply. Let's stop making it complex. Bring over the minus half x to this side. So you'd have 40 equal to a half of x. And so if a half of x is 40, half of which number is 40? X must then be 80. So x is 80 degrees. Referring to these last two here, question 37 and 38, it says Miss Simmons drives her car from her home to her workplace every morning. And the table just shows how she drive. So first she drive from home to the freeway, then she drive from the freeway to the freeway exit, then from the freeway exit to her workplace. And they give us the speed at which she drive. It says one morning, she drove directly from her home to work in 24 minutes. What was her average speed in miles per hour that morning? So guys, first and foremost, we need to remember this from CSEC. Speed, average speed is equal to distance over time. Let me write out what I wrote there in letters, in words. That is saying average speed is equal to total distance. Distance is represented by the letter S over total time. Now, she drove for what? 24 minutes, right? Now, guys, notice that the speed they've been giving us is in hours. So I want you to convert 24 minutes to hours. 24 minutes to hours would be equal to 24 over 60. Because 60 minutes make an hour. And 24 over 60, that's 0.4. Is that 0.4? 24 divided by 60.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 0.4. All right, so that's 0.4. That's how many hours she took. All right, 0.4 of an hour. Now the total distance she traveled is all of this, guys. All of this, if you add it up, that's her total distance. The 0.6 plus 15.4 plus 1.4.
17.4.
So 17.4 divided by 0.4. What do you get?
43.5.
43.5. So that's 43.5. That was her average speed that morning. 43.5 miles per hour. That's pretty slow. She driving slow, man. But then it's not taking into account maybe she take break or right to go to work. She was in a hurry. So let's look at the last part now, guys. So the last part, it says if Miss Simmons starts her drive at 6:30 in the morning, she can drive at average speed with no traffic delay. So 6:30 in the morning, she don't have to worry about traffic. If she starts at 7, the travel time from the freeway entrance, so this is the zone they're talking about, the freeway entrance to the freeway exit increases by 33% due to slower traffic jam. But there's no travel time difference between the next two segments. Based on the table, how many more minutes does Miss Simmons take to arrive at her workplace if she drives at 7 a.m. than if she drives at 6:30? So first thing, guys, we need to look at how many time it takes if there's no traffic in the freeway versus if there is traffic in the freeway. If she started at 7 a.m. So first, she starts at 6:30. Then we need to find out how long it would take her to get through that little passage. So notice, because we don't need to worry about the next two zones, because the next two zones, any amount of time she take in the morning at 6:30 or 7, doesn't matter. Those stay the same, right? They remain the same in these two portions, right, guys? We agree with that, right?
Yes,
Same
sir.
amount of time. Cool. So what we're saying then at 6:30 in the morning, first thing is, remember I said that speed is equal to distance over time, right? So if you want to find the time, if you transpose that formula, time is equal to the distance over the speed. In other words, the distance that she traveled right there is 15.4 miles. So 15.4 miles, and you divide that by the speed of 50. That gonna give us 15.4 over 50. You put that in a calculator and that give you, guys,
0.3.
very good, 0.3 something. But remember, this is in what? Hours. So if this is in hours, how can we get it in minutes? Multiply
By 60.
by 60. Very good. So multiplying it by 60, that's 18.48 minutes. So guys, that's how long she would travel without any interference. She would travel, in other words, 18.48 minutes. Now let's check out if there is interference. If there is interference, they said that it increases, the freeway increases by 33%. So guys, 33%, if there's a 33% increase, in other words, it's going to be 133% of this travel time. 133% of the 0.308. 133% of this is just multiplying it by 1.3. Right? So look at this. The 0.308 We'll multiply it by 1.33. That will give us 0.40964. That's 0.40964. And then we multiply this by 60. And that's telling us that's 24.6 minutes. This is 24.578. Or we can just say 24.58 minutes. So notice that if there's no traffic, should take 18 minutes. That's when she leave out 6:30. If she leave out 7 o'clock, it's going to take her 24.58 minutes. What's the difference between the two? How much longer would it take her? It would take her, the difference is going to be 24.58 minus 18.48, and that will give us 6.1. In other words, it's roughly 6 minutes different. Wow! Right? So that's not a big deal, guys. It's just 6 minutes different. So if I were her, I would just travel 7 o'clock instead.